Alrighty, caption test. Awesome. Do, 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 do. Come on, don't freeze on me now, VC face. Ah, what are you doing? Silly computer. There we go. Hey, I'm doing great. How are you? Hi, Rose Thrills. How are you? Resting and taking a mental health day today. Sounds good, Madge. Sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that. There's no shame in taking a mental health day every now and then. Okay. Alright, I don't have hand tracking on today because my computer's already angry at me for some reason. But I am finally going to continue with the giant Barbie doll. First things first, get my keyboard out of the way. I have a doctor's appointment on Saturday to see how many eggs you have and try to get as many freezed as possible. That sounds like a very good plan, especially with what you told me last stream. Let's try to... I'm not going to burn the candle today because this doll is so big that I just worry that I would set everything on fire if I tried. So first things first, Twitch is going to absolutely love this, but I have to take the modesty towel off of the Barbie. Please don't ban me for plastic titties, Twitch. And then, to protect the face and hair, I will take the modesty towel and put it on her head instead. He's hoping Naked Barbie doesn't violate Twitch TOS. It shouldn't, but they tend to be pretty biased against VTubers, so... Like I said, please don't ban me for plastic boobs. As long as there's no nipples. Hopefully. Hopefully. Alright. And, I mean, other bits are still covered with painted panties, so... Alright, first step, take some Mr. Super Clear, and of course a good mask, because you only get one set of lungs, and this crap is toxic. And, oh, no, there is one thing before then, because I promised, and then I was too tired to stream yesterday. I owe you bean updates. Give me a second. Pile of medical paperwork. Conveniently placed sticky notes to prevent doxing myself. And then I will have bean updates. This is the best one here on the end. This is baby's head down here, and then the rest of them up there. Everything is going well so far, and the updated due date is September 13th. I was up at fuck this shit o'clock to go to that ultrasound appointment, so I ended up being too tired to stream after. Very healthy, perfectly placed, and doing well. So now, in the interest of protecting both the bean and my own lungs, I'm going to put this mask on and spray that super clear. Mask accomplished. Spray can. And spray our victim. All right. And grab her by the head to do the legs. give her a few minutes to soak all that in and for the air to clear. Back down she can come. Let me make sure the window's all the way open. I have multiple fans, but making sure that the windows are all the way open is also very important, as well as the mask. It's not too big of a deal that I had to wake up that early, just I'm not used to it. One of the perks of the work that I do is that if I want to be a night owl and go to bed at midnight and wake up at 8 a.m., I can. Or closer to 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. these days. But when your appointment is at 8 a.m. and you have to get up at 5:30, that's a little bit more difficult. Okay. Now that Mr. Super Clear is good and dry. So out come the watercolor pencils. And the colors that were used last time. Just a lot of yellow and greens. A little pink, I believe. Must have used teal. We definitely used, and I think we used some light violet and some violet too. The pencil's good and sharp. You can definitely tell which colors I used the most. You have to go to your doctor's appointment at 7 and it's almost 3 hours away. Oh, wow. That's going to be awful. Pencil sharpener. I love this pencil sharpener. It's a good one. It's going to be worth it. Yeah, it is definitely going to be worth it. I just want to check her face. I want to check the drawing style that I used. Yep. It's like swirly vines and some round and some pointed flowers. And some hearts. Looks like most of the leaves were heart-shaped. That's simple enough to accomplish. Now, back into the hair and face burrito you go. If I do stream on Saturday, you'll either drop in and fall asleep or not show at all. That's fine. I'm not going to be able to stream tomorrow because I have another obligation. So if I stream tomorrow, it'll be late. Like it'll be after, probably after 6. So it'll be an after dinner stream if I stream at all tomorrow. So I probably will stream some on Saturday. Possibly not, possibly not anything super in depth. But I think I will stream some on Saturday. All right, now. Turn her this way, actually. So I'll be working on her upside down for a little while. I can see how that would be confusing to somebody who's never been through a fertility process. I can definitely see how that could be confusing. Ooh, the plastic on the body is taking the watercolor pencils really well. I'm pleasantly surprised. Why are you going to the doctor to see how many you have and why you're freezing chicken eggs? Oh, poor kid. It is, while it's a good thing that they've never had to consider anything like that, it's also like, you know, humans make eggs too in their ovaries, right? Like, I know sex ed leaves a lot to be desired in many places, but it can't be that bad. Like, we're not still in the days of never, ever, ever have sex or you will get AIDS and die. Are we? We're not still doing that mean girl shit, are we? You going back to work tomorrow because you miss taking care of the kiddos? Yeah, fair enough. Oh gosh, I remember seeing that in a Reddit video, one of those Reddit amalgamation videos or compilation videos. Hi, Amalga. And yeah, it's like, no, you do not have to feed the baby by fucking during pregnancy. And people who tell their pregnant wives that shit, well, they deserve whatever happens when the wife goes to the doctor and finds out that it's a load of crap. Like, just tell her you want to get your dick wet. And then if she says no, go wank in the bathroom. People still think babies are in the stomach. Like, you have no idea how many grown-ass women and AFAB people I have had to explain to that they have 3 holes. Yep, I just responded, Madge. Like, how do I have 3 holes? I would have known that by now. Well, you see, the urethra is very, very tiny. But trust me, you do not pee out of your vagina. Just try peeing the next time you have a tampon in. Just move the string out the way, don't take it out. But then I'll get pee all over the tampon. No, seriously, try it. You'll still be able to pee, I promise you. And yes, you do walk in on the best Twitch discussions, Amalga. Sometimes you just meet somebody and they say something and you just have to look at them and wonder, did you fail sex ed or did sex ed fail you? I still remember a frickin' university professor who told me to just hold my period in. And literally would not listen when I and other students tried to explain why that was not possible. How the ever-loving fuck do you get to be a university professor without knowing that you can't hold your period in? And this was one of my professors in nursing school. That's the sad part. Like, he should have known. Like, well, just practice doing your Kegels. Bitch, those are for strengthening the pelvic floor muscles, not for learning to close the vagina like a door. Like, sir, are you married? Do you know how to find the clitoris? There are some people who think that women can just let their period out all in one go. I legitimately met a grown-ass adult who thought that we lay eggs like a chicken as our period every month. I'm just like, did you grow up with a mom? Did you have sisters, cousins, aunties? Or the number of doctors who thought I could cure my PCOS by losing weight instead of, losing weight once the PCOS was treated. Finally got a doctor that actually gave a shit and started treating the PCOS and suddenly dropped 90 fucking pounds. I'm still big, you can tell. But I'm not 320 pounds big anymore. Some men don't even think the clitoris exists. Trust me, it exists. The sorry state of sex ed never ceases to amaze you. Yeah, same. The fact that people can actually opt their kids out of any and all sexual education amazes me. Like, if you're not going to do it at home and prove that you're doing it at home, then you shouldn't be allowed. And also to prove that you're doing it at least up to the curriculum standards, then you shouldn't be allowed to opt your kids out. Want to verbally tell your laptop goodbye? Goodbye, Amalga's old laptop. You were good while you lasted, but eventually you died, as all elderly things eventually must. My mom once had to rip my dad a new one. My mom once had to rip my dad a new one. He accused me of faking my period because I apparently was getting it every 2 weeks. And I'm like, I'm not getting it every 2 weeks. I'm getting it about once a month. And he was like, well, why do I keep seeing pads in the trash every 2 weeks? And my mom just looked at him and goes, there's more than one menstruating woman in this house, you know. But you're all family. Shouldn't it have been synced up? No, sir. There is colloquial evidence that it eventually syncs up, but your daughter just started. And also, that's not even, like, scientifically proven. It's anecdotal evidence. Wait. You're 50 freaking years old and you don't know this? How did you end up with 4 children? I honestly think that because of the sorry state of sex ed, too many people just go, well, it feels real nice to stick the pole into the hole, and don't think about it any further. And that's terrifying. Mm-hmm. Sex ed needs to be brought back and in a format that you can't opt out of. And it needs to start early with teaching consent and bodily autonomy. Yes, your 5-year-old needs to be taught about consent. Your 5-year-old should already know that if somebody is trying to force them to hug them, they should kick, scream, and bite. Your 5-year-old should already know that no means no. That's all that consent means at that age. Your 5-year-old should also be taught that just because no means no doesn't mean that mom can't intervene when it's something like doctor's appointments and vaccines and bathing, because those are medically necessary, and you can become very, very sick to the point that mama can be accused of not taking care of you, and you can be taken away. Teach consent early, reduce consent violations later on. Exactly. And on both ends. Your mom taught you to kick and scream and bite if anyone forced you to do something you weren't comfortable with. My parents did the same thing. The first thing they taught me from the moment I could walk and talk was, if somebody's trying to get you to go with them and you don't know them and you don't want to go with them, you start screaming, "You're not my mom, you're not my dad, I don't want to go with you." And scream and bite and kick. Do whatever you need to. You were told to go for the jewels and make them fall. That's what I was taught too. Alright, I need a new layer of Mr. Super Clear because I'm already smudging some of this. Your dad was teaching the No Mercy route? As he should have. That's what you did after the priest fucker was trying to do even more gross stuff. Good. Alright. Eventually, my parents even went as far as to tell me that if a family member was trying to make me do something that I knew was wrong, that I was allowed to kick and scream and bite. They basically told me that if somebody was trying to touch me in ways that I didn't want to be touched, I had every right to do anything that I needed to make them stop. And they told me it didn't matter if it was family or a teacher or what. If somebody was making me uncomfortable or asking me to do things that I knew was wrong, or that my heart was telling me wasn't right, all I had to do was say something to them and they'd never make me see them again. I appreciated that. It didn't necessarily protect me from becoming a victim, but I'm sure it helped prevent me from being victimized worse than I was. It's like a vaccine. You can't protect from everything, but you can protect from the worst of it. I think I'm going to focus on torso and arms right now and do legs later, because that's where it was smudging, was on the legs. Flip her upside down again, so that I can see what I'm doing. Well, welcome back, Amalga. Another really important thing is always, always, always make sure that you have taught your children the correct anatomical terms for their body parts. It's not only to protect them from people who are going to use cutesy baby talk words for those parts to try to get them to do things they don't want to, but it also means that if the parents ever find something happening, if the child's trying to seek help for something, the parents and teachers will know immediately. I'll never forget reading a story about a little girl who kept trying to tell the teacher, "Uncle licked my cookie, Uncle licked my cookie." And the teacher was very, very confused and said, "Well, ask for a new cookie next time." Only a few weeks later for the mother to come in and say, "I don't understand what's going on. Is there something happening at school? My daughter keeps complaining of a red, itchy, burning rash on her cookie." That teacher could have saved that child after the first report if the child had known to say private parts or vulva or even vagina. Even teaching them to say private parts when they're in public would have saved that child. So obviously my little bean is going to know the correct terms. That's how you save your kids from groomers. No cutesy baby talk words. Mm-hmm. There's a super cute PSA, I think it's out of Scotland actually as well, called Pantsosaurus. And it's a cutesy little song, but I like it because it is very, very clear. It goes, "What's in your pants belongs only to you. If someone asks to see them, tell them no." It's sad that that campaign needed to exist, but it is very good that it did. I like things like that are very straightforward, but also catered to a child's understanding and attention span. Welcome back, Maggie. By the way, if this topic of conversation gets too heavy for anybody, let me know and we can absolutely we can absolutely change the topic. And the back of my dress is clipping through the front. Wonderful. Yay, technology. I don't understand why people are so afraid of being direct with children. You can be direct without getting into the gross details. You ask that no one teach the Spawnings cutties because asking for food to be cut should not be. Oh my god. Okay, that's a reference to a video that I recently saw taking down the Velma series and how it really does seem like a right-wing psyop to make anybody who's not completely stupid look completely stupid. And I will never forget seeing the man baby that they have made Fred screaming, "Mother, cutties!" while holding up a plate of steak. I will never be able to unsee that. He's supposed to be a wholesome bimbo, not a man-child. Wholesome himbo, rather. Fred was never like that, not even as a child. I know. Fred was supposed to be a wholesome himbo. Somebody who didn't understand a lot of things, but was doing his damn best. Whenever you have little beings, first thing they'll be taught is consent. The next one will be to not judge others and not be rude to someone who is different. Same, same, same. When I heard that The Sims added hearing aids and wearable glucose monitors and insulin pumps to the game, I made a post about it. And, like, people weren't understanding why this is so huge. And I'm like, well, that's because you have never gone to elementary school and had kids smack you in the head in an attempt to break your hearing aids. And the teachers just laugh and say, bullying builds character. Suck it up and move on. If you ignore them, they'll stop. No, if I ignore them, they'll hit me harder next time. You're the fucking adult. Why aren't you protecting the children in your care? Because you only care about the pretty able-bodied ones? Or because you only care about the rich ones? Or maybe both. You're honestly stoked about that update? Oh yeah, I'm stoked about it too. Because it's not only hearing aids and insulin pumps and stuff, they also added binders for trans and non-binary Sims. And a few other things that we've been asking for years. It's like, yeah, the modding community gave us this a long time ago, but it's nice to have it officially. It came out yesterday. It's a free update. If you play The Sims, update your game, you'll have it. I'm honestly thinking that maybe on Friday or Saturday stream, I might load up and make some. Base game, diabetic and deaf Sims. The modding community gives away. Yeah, the modding community gave us this a long time ago. So it's kind of not great that where. Oh yeah, I have the prosthetics mod too. So it's kind of not great that it took 23 years to get this. But it's great that we have it now, and I can, get rid of the mods that do the same thing now. And bring my mod folder back down to a proper, respectable size instead of, holy fuck, my computer sounds like a jet engine trying to take off just loading all my mods. Now we just need to work on more diverse cultural representation and continue the work on proper skin tone sliders. There's a person that I follow on Twitter who goes by Hufflepalm, who is an absolute darling simmer, who has been campaigning for better Jewish cultural representation in The Sims for over a year now. Just things like hair covering, clothing, traditional foods. Not even asking for, like, holiday representation, which honestly I think she should, considering we've got so much stuff for Christmas. She's just asking for basic things to be added. And The Sims is like, fuck you. How's that sound? That light violet looks almost exactly like the regular violet against this fall skin tone. They probably wouldn't have made an update like this if they didn't see people were actively modding the game with mods that have specific items. Yeah, that's my theory too. I think they got jealous of all the love the modding community has been getting lately and decided to do something about it. Which at least they finally did something about it, but, you know, it shouldn't have taken the mod community doing what the Sims team should have done 20 fucking years ago for it to happen. But no, you don't need hearing aids and glucose monitors and better skin tones and more cultural representation. You need more Disney collabs. Oh, I love the modding community. The modding community is my best digital friend. Keep it up, modders. Y'all are doing some digital magic there. I pretty much don't play The Sims unmodded anymore. But the fact that we have to mod it just to make it a playable game is sad. I'd rather mod it for things that are less obvious. Like, I understand needing to mod weed into the game. I understand needing to mod in actual alcohol into the game. They have a Hanukkah candle, but it doesn't do what they do for candles. It lights it all or they're all off. Yeah, and that's a problem. That is a huge, huge problem. Like, it needs to work. It needs to actually function the way it should. Or there's no point in having it in the game in the first place. You're supposed to light one candle a day for 8 days. Yeah, I understand modding the horny into the game. I understand not wanting explicit sexual content in a game made for a teen and up audience. I absolutely understand that. But I don't understand not having canes in the game, especially since we used to in previous Sims games. I don't understand not having wheelchairs at this point. I don't understand why we only just got the hearing aids and the wearable diabetic supplies. I don't understand a lot of the decisions that the Sims team has made. There's an aftercare mod after they do the woohoo. Oh my gosh, I need that one. I have a couple of other BDSM mods. I need an aftercare mod. You had to download a mod to get the skeleton outfit? Yes, please. If you whisper it to me, I'll post it in the chat. Because I don't think that anybody but VIPs or mods can post links. I need that aftercare mod. being able to give my Sims give each other aftercare, that would be freaking awesome. You can also, if you manage to get into the Discord, which I honestly don't know because Discord is being pissy on my computer lately, then I can also post it in the Sims 4 board in the Discord. Awesome. Hello, Talk and Aftercare. Yay! I will download this, in fact. Here's the linky link. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is beautiful. Mm-hmm. This mod replaces the Big Finish animation that is currently in the base game with these animations. I like that. I mean, it's nice to know that your Sims enjoyed themselves, but I would rather see aftercare. Especially in some of my spicier play files. As a grown adult playing the Sims game, you would like to say the game itself is alright after a while. The mods you have, including the snoo ones, are the only things. Yeah. I tend to get burnt out on the Sims fairly quickly, honestly. And it's not because there's anything wrong with the Sims as a game itself, it's just, it's boring without mods. I've got a Big Brother style Sims game and a brothel Sims game running on my Fansly. And, you know, that's really the way that I play The Sims these days. Because, I mean, when I'm not building. Because just the family-friendly gameplay doesn't always do it for me anymore. Not that I'm getting anything out of watching my Sims bang, but a little bit of drama makes the game worth it. Besides, we've all wanted to see Bob Pancakes cheat on Liz. You want the Sims to add something so you can choose the Sim's sexuality or gender, not just... They did recently when they did the pronouns update last year. Or at least I'm pretty sure they said that they added that as well. I think like townies can randomly get non-straight sexualities too. Of course, you know the Sims team. Just because they said they did something doesn't mean they did. Or at least not necessarily that it was implemented correctly. There was a whole big drama about the pronouns update and sexuality update. Yep, body hair was added. There's a lot of stuff that made the right wing mad that came out in the last year for The Sims. Makes my shriveled little ginger soul happy. Someone who is AFAB, it's nice to have body hair, especially since you can put it on your AFAB characters and show women can have body hair too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. As an AFAB person with PCOS who occasionally shaves their face, I 125% agree. And as for choosing to shave, that is my personal choice. Never would make somebody do it if they didn't want to. I just find that a patchy little ginger neck beard does not look very good on me. I know other AFAB people who choose to keep their facial hair. And that is A-okay as well. You used to be made fun of for leg hair, and your response was, well, your legs are hairy, why can't mine be? Yeah, that was my usual response when I was younger as well. And the answer I usually got was, because I'm a male, I'm supposed to have body hair. Like, excuse me, but why do you think your mom shaves her legs? Yeah, that's what I fucking thought, you dumbass hillbilly. Body hair is natural. If it didn't grow naturally, then nobody would want to shave, because nobody would have anything to shave. We are mammals. That means we have hair all over. If you didn't have body hair, you wouldn't have eyebrows or head hair or eyelashes either. Did you think about that? No. Because you'd rather keep your fucking ignorance. I was literally thinking to myself yesterday while I was washing up before my ultrasound appointment, like, should I throw some Nair on my legs? I haven't taken care of that in like 3 months, and if they need to do an endovaginal ultrasound to get a proper look at this bean, the tech is gonna see all that hair. And then I was like, you know what? Who cares if the tech sees my leg hair? Who cares if I'm a little fuzzy on my legs? And more importantly, why do I care? Why do I care if she's going to see my leg hair and judge me? If an ultrasound tech, a medical professional, is going to judge me for my body hair, then she's not a very good medical professional. Besides, I wasn't going to shave my puss for her. Why should I deal with my leg hair? And that's valid too. I find that after a certain length it gets uncomfortable. I've just been too worried about other things to give much of a fuss about it lately. But what a grown-ass adult does with their own body hair is their business. I mean, I've known guys that remove their body hair. Swimmers and gymnasts, for example, often remove their body hair. I've known AMAB people who are not swimmers or gymnasts who also remove their body hair just because they find that it's itchy, or they find that their deodorant works better on a shaven armpit. And that's valid. That is valid, normal, and acceptable too. But the point is that grown-ass adults should know better than to judge other grown-ass adults for what they do with their own body hair or lack thereof. And considering that yesterday my only motivation for wanting to shave my legs was, What if the tech sees and judges me? I decided to step outside of my comfort zone. And frankly, I'm proud of myself for it. You got judged for getting a bag of salad? What the frick? What's wrong with buying a bag of salad? Who the hell judged you for buying salad? It wasn't just the fact you got salad, it was the fact that you got salad and you're chunky. So chunky people aren't allowed to eat healthily now? So just because you're chunky, you're not allowed to eat vegetables? My favorite food is vegetables, and look at this! Look at this! I am the definition of chunky! There is a lot that's cute about chubby people. I wish that I could wrap my head around making a better VTuber model, because I really want one that's a little bit closer to my actual body type. It annoys me in so many of these. Don't kid yourself, Amalga. You're fucking beautiful. You have a very classic beauty to you. You are very much 1950s pinup pretty. There's a lot that's cute about chubbier, chunkier people. And it annoys me in a lot of these modeling um a lot of these modeling programs and character creators and stuff, you know, you select the chubby body type and the closest you can get is the model that I use. Like, you can't look at that and say that's anything more than a little curvy. That's not chubby. And as for the lady that got on your case for getting a bag of salad, you wanted to try the Mexican salad because of the crunchy and you need salad with fried food. You gotta have salad with fried food. It balances out the grease. Love the salad. It sounds good. Normally don't like green onion in salad, but it worked with this one. It can work if it's done right and if it's paired with the right things. Alrighty. Time for the next layer of Mr. Super Clear. Mask on. Mask on. Mask on. I can't be the only one in here old enough to remember that commercial. Yep, the clapper. Salad had elote dressing, cornbread crumbs, and crunchy corn. That sounds good. I think I want to make some cheddar biscuit. Some cheddar garlic biscuits with dinner tonight. I have some cheddar biscuit mix in the cupboard that I need to use up. I'll make it with spicy cheddar. I'm having some trouble with that aqua pencil. Did I actually use teal on the face? No, I don't think I did. But the teal does seem to be laying down a lot more pigment. So maybe... Well, that one will be under the dress most of the time anyway. I'm not too concerned. Everything went quiet. Sorry about that. Sometimes I get really focused on what I'm doing and I forget that I'm streaming and I should be talking. I usually have music going in the background of art streams for that reason. But I've been getting a lot of my VOD audio muted lately when I use even the royalty-free music services. Pretzel Rocks is the one that I usually use, and I've been getting a lot of my VOD audio muted. And I haven't quite figured out Twitch soundtrack yet. I'm just gonna blame it on hyperfocus and try to do better next time. So, almost done with the front torso and arms. I figured Twitch would like it a little better if I painted over the boobs a little. Just to accentuate the fact that there are no nip-nops. The Sims update is so cool, but you couldn't find the binders. They might be in the undergarments section. Because they're supposed to be there. I haven't had a chance to open up the Sims and look yet. My VTuber's dress just said fuck physics. Yeah, it does that sometimes. I used to use a different motion capture program. And that one was funny because occasionally the whole VTuber would just fuck right off. Just, okay, I guess I'm running away now. That's cool. I have no idea how to get myself back, but, you know what? Let's call it a metaphor for the state of my mind and continue as we were. I let my mind wander. If you happen to see it, tell it I need it back home, please. 'Cause it ain't been back since. Playing a game on your phone here called Wedding DIY, and you just found out their Jiggle Physics preset. Yeah. Phone game Jiggle Physics can be interesting. Yeah, interesting. That's the word I'll go with. You had a program once that broke the VTuber's neck when you turned your head. Wow. Not only that, but if you turn the women on the side to side, they'll happily raise their arms up to allow more jiggling. Yeah, the developers of that game absolutely knew what they were doing, and that was intentional. Okay. I think that's good enough on the front torso and arms. So, mask back on. And Mr. Super Clear. This bottle's getting a little low. Yeah. Getting the mask over my glasses is a bit of a trick sometimes. Oops. Not quite dry. Mask back on. Okay. In the interest of giving that a little bit more time to dry then, it's probably a bit humid in here because I opened the windows more. I'll just set the doll over to the side for a minute because I painted the crown off stream and then realized I should have painted it rose gold to match her fingernails instead of silver. So there's quite a bit of rose gold paint in the lid of the jar, so I'm going to start by using that. And it hopefully won't take 10 million coats to cover up the silver. A lady wants a hot top and short skirt, and she wants to cause chaos at the wedding. Well, that would certainly get some attention. Is she the bride? Because she's the, you don't know. Well, if she's the bride and wants to wear something like that, go for it. It's her wedding. If she's a guest and she's doing it to try to upstage the bride, that's a little bit tacky. Like, wear what you want, but also don't intentionally try to cause chaos. And yes, I have known people that have gone to other people's weddings just to cause chaos. And it's like, sometimes you just gotta go up to the bride and ask, why are you friends with this person? I had one friend, I was invited to her wedding, and her older sister was so jealous that the younger sister was getting married first, that the older sister literally showed up to the wedding wearing a white beaded wedding gown because she'd heard that it was bad luck for one of the guests to show up wearing a white gown. And she was so determined to ruin my friend's wedding in any way possible, to, to curse the marriage, you know, just because she was the older sibling, so she should have been married first. Maybe if you didn't have a trash personality, you would have found someone who wanted to marry you by now. You named one of your chickens in Stardew Dork? Oh, that's cute. Chickens are kind of dorky sometimes. Sometimes these types just like popping into a wedding without anyone knowing who they are. Yeah. That is true. It was just so sad in my friend's case because her mom was paying for most of the wedding, and like her mom was literally saying she was going to pull the funding for the wedding if she didn't invite her older sister. And she's like, Mom, you know that my older sister's going to try to ruin the wedding. And she's like, oh, don't be ridiculous. She's your sister. She's not going to be that petty. You're being petty for not inviting her. She was literally only invited because she was family, and then she did exactly what my friend, the younger sister of the two, said she would do. And she's like, I told you, Mom. And she's like, oh my gosh, how was I supposed to know? Like she's never been this petty. You must have done something to upset her. No, Mom, she's been this petty her whole damn life. She's just like you. She is just like you. You're the same way. She's exactly the way you raised her. You won't wear white on your... I didn't wear white. I did not wear white. I wore purple, which you know, Amalga, because you were there. But I wore purple with blue. I thought about going with like a creamy, champagne-y type of color, but I was like, no. I I lost the privilege of wearing white a long time ago. And even if I hadn't, I am not the right skin tone to wear a white dress. You just sometimes have to admit that a white dress doesn't look good on you. And it was weird because most of my friends were like, yeah, go for it. Don't wear a white dress. You don't have to do the traditional thing. And then they found out that I also didn't want to wear a veil. And they were like, but don't you want to be a pretty princess on your wedding? No. I don't want to be a pretty princess anytime. I still remember Halloween when I was like 6 years old. What do you want to be for Halloween? My mom asked me. I don't know, maybe a princess. What kind of princess? A fairy princess? A Cinderella princess? Vampire princess. Okay, whatever the kid wants. You're a Ninja Turtle for Halloween. Aww. Vampire princess sounds strangely alluring. I mean, I can always do it again next Halloween. We'll have a kiddo next Halloween. Although, with a September birthday, they may be too little to go trick-or-treating their first Halloween. But nothing says we can't do it anyway and then eat the candy ourselves. You think it was either Raph or Mikey? I mean, those were the two best anyways. After that, you were a vampire, not a princess vampire, just a vampire. I honestly think I just said the first thing that popped into my head. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure where the idea came from, because this was pre Buffy the Vampire Slayer being on TV. And this was pre, like, really understanding what a vampire was. Then you were a blood-covered doctor with bloody handprints on the outfit that you made yourself. Oh, that's awesome. You want to look like a punk slash goth, newlywed? I think that's the gender neutral term. Newlywed works. Yep. You've unlocked the groom in your game? How bad is it? Please tell me that the boys get jiggle physics too. That would be hilarious. It's a phrase that seems more foreboding than... It does sound more foreboding than it should. I have unlocked the groom. The world shall fear his newlywedness. You've heard of Bridezilla, but have you heard of the most terrifying, the tall, dark, handsome, murderous Groomzilla? He looks like the guy you'd see on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. Ew. Just a generic guy. Why do male characters in games like that always have to be just generic hot guy? Like, I mean, it's not any better for female characters because they're always just generic Barbie doll. But, like, that's some variety. Where are my chubby chicks? Where are my dad bods? Where are my tall athletic girls? Where are my short kings? Where are my ambiguously gendered but still beautiful persons? You like none of the options for the groom's outfit? Yeah, that's the other thing, is that outfits for male characters tend to leave quite a lot lacking. And you don't like the physical body of the groom? I'm unsurprised. Disappointed, but unsurprised. It's always just generic pretty person. Generic pretty person number 3. His anatomy is all wrong. Let me guess, poorly rendered PS1 graphics? This paint is getting a little thick. Thick bodies are fun. Thick paint, not so much. I'm gonna add some water to it. The upper portion is fine, but from the waist down, it's not proportional at all. So it's worse than poorly rendered PS1 graphics. It's Unity asset flip graphics. It's like looking at Vlad from when you were remaking him in the editor. Oh no. Vlad Strauss is just one of the most poorly rendered Sims in the game. Like, why would you do that? There's a reason why everybody remakes Vlad. Yeah, most of the mobile games that Gray still plays are asset flips. Many mobile games, in fact, are. They're made as cheaply as possible with as many microtransactions as possible to fool little kids into borrowing their parents' credit card for worthless crap. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Hanaga. I know exactly what you're talking about. I just don't know why people would think that that's the sort of modeling to aspire to. There. That's a better texture for that paint. Awesome. There was a reason you edited Vlad. There's a reason why everybody edits Vlad. Well, our kittens are not going to have unrestricted access to a phone that would allow them to download such things. Our kitten's first phone is going to be one of those kids call watches that has 5 contacts and plus 911. That's all they need before they're old enough for social media. And once they are old enough for social media, I'll still be watching that like a hawk. Not necessarily for the microtransaction laden mobile games, but because of the things that can happen to unattended minors on social media. Okay, I don't have to worry about getting banned for plastic boobies anymore, but I do have to worry about possibly getting banned for plastic bottom. Also, yes, I am aware that legs are not supposed to bend that direction. But she is not human, she is a spirit. So sue me. I'm so glad that you were able to get a new computer though, Amalga. You've needed one for a while. And I'm glad that you were able to find one in your price range that's fairly decent. You can have one of the citrus sparkling water, but actually no, I did owe you one of the diet ginger ales because I accidentally drank one of yours. Speaking of which, I left mine in the freezer. Holy shit! I could kill somebody with these. They're ice blocks. Yes, you can have one, Madge. It's a good thing someone changed days with you so you would have the day off today. That was the last of that laptop they had over there. Yeah, that is a good thing. If you're still working today and off Thursday, you'd probably have missed out on it. Yeah. Yeah. You probably would have. It's a pretty good laptop you were able to get. And for a really reasonable price for what it is, too. Are you currently using your new laptop, or is this the last stream that you're attending with your old one? By the way, Amalka. This is the last stream you watch on your old one. Okay. Makes sense. Well, farewell to Amalga's old laptop, and welcome to the new. I think the plan with the old laptop actually is to save it and see if we can fix it up um into a burner laptop for any future beans of Amalgas, and also as a possible backup machine. Did I remember that correctly, Amalga? Wanted to give it one more go on a stream before you start placing files into a drive and switching over to the new one. Fair enough. I mean, that laptop's been with you for years. So, I get that. That is not the aqua color that I was using before. That's okay. Most of that is going to be under clothes usually anyway. I'll go over it with aqua next time. You don't want to save your old laptop and fix it up so you have a spare in case something happens to the new one, as well as for future potential spawnlings so they have some experience with the laptop before you get them a brand spanking new one to call their own. Fair enough. You're currently baby talking your chickens in Stardew? Aww. Precious little chimkin babies. Okay. The back took color really well, but it is time. Both of them are named Dork. I made the mistake um once of playing Harvest Moon on stream and letting chat name my chickens. And we ended up coming up with names like Nuggets, Thighs, Tendies. It was and did I learn my lesson? No, because when I started playing Pokemon on stream, I let chat name my Pokemon too. Hmm. It's Mr. Superclear time. Actually, that looks pretty good after only one layer. I think her back might be done. When you get the upgrade on the coop so you can get rabbits, you can get two and name them after middle names you want to give your little beans you may have in the future. Oh, that's cute. I love that. Okay. While her back dries, I'm gonna sit her up as much as possible here. And I'm going to paint her shoes. And you know, I'm almost thinking maybe I should give her some opaque tights instead of continuing the body paint on her legs. Because I've already been working on this for 2 hours and I'm starting to get hand cramps from drawing these vines. So I may give her some kind of painted tights. Oh, I think I over diluted this paint. Just a little. It's alright, it'll just take extra coats to get the right shade and coverage. At least I can get rid of this eye bleed pink. This is not the simplest task on a doll this size with molded on shoes. Well, it's spring. The motorcycle bros are out. It's springtime on the west coast, even though it's still cold and rainy. Therefore, the motorcycle bros are being noisy again. The two middle names you want your little beans to have are Palm and Karma. I like that. Those are cute names. We discovered on Bigger Brides there's clipping and the chest pillows go through the outfit. Yeah, that happens. I have found that sometimes on my VTuber, when I convert the VRM into PMX for Miku Miku dance content, there's actually a couple of outfits that I can't do that with, because if I do, and this one's one of them, either the skirt refuses to obey gravity, or the sweater puppies like to randomly escape. Which is unfortunate because I quite like this dress. This was my winter holiday dress in 2021. Palm is short for pomegranate and middle name will be for Persephone. Oh, I like that. And Karma will be for Iris. I like that. I like that a lot. I don't want to give out the first names for my kittens that Maggie and I have picked yet, but I will say that the middle name for one of them we picked for two different reasons. The middle name in question being Merrick. And the two reasons are, one, it's of Irish origin, and Maggie has a little bit of Irish ancestry that they want to honor. And the other reason is because Merrick was the last name of the doctor at the fertility clinic that got us our beans in the first place. And Merrick means the fork in the river as well. So, and this really was, you know, our turning point, our fork in the river for being able to have the family that we always dreamed of. I'm actually going to let that paint dry out a little bit in between uses. And I'm going to let the doll sit for a bit. I'm really getting burnt out on the painting and the drawing right now. Despite your grandmother claiming she's a status indigenous person, you couldn't pick any names to honor that ancestry, partly because you're not sure it's real, and partly because the only indigenous name you know is a racist joke you won't perpetuate. Fair enough. Yeah, I knew which grandmother you meant. The one that didn't off herself the moment that we told her that we were going to be reporting a certain other family member for their crimes against you. Okay. So what I'm going to do, rather than continue painting for a little bit, I am going to print the pattern for the gown that I want to use. And then I am going, and while that prints, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. It needs to print at 100% size. Okay. Perfect. All right. While that prints, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. See you soon. Okay, so while I was in the washroom, actually, one of my nails popped off. So before I get back to the doll, you get to see how I do my nails. I have very brittle fingernails, so I do gels to protect my natural fingernails. Sounds like a fun segue. So, some glue and trimmers and a buffer. And that's the green I was using. Primer, dehydrator, top coat, and Paranoia Galaxy number 86 glitter. Hello, Rose Girl's boyfriend. I hope you are doing well today. Okay, so since I have very brittle natural nails, I use these tips. The first thing that I do is I apply a little bit of dehydrator to the tip. That etches the plastic so they stay on longer. Then a little dehydrator to my natural nail. Some Protein Bond primer. Once that's dry on both the tip and the natural nail, I apply some UV glue. It's very gooey stuff. And light warning, I am going to be using a mini UV lamp several times during the process of fixing this nail that popped off. So I just kind of wiggle it, make sure the air bubbles are out, mini UV light on, and cure it. It does get warm, but it shouldn't get warm enough to burn. I'm going to cut most of the tip off. It's actually, strangely enough, less expensive to buy the long tips and then cut them down. Now when I do Magie's nails, I just use the gel polish. Magie doesn't need tips to protect their natural nails. But mine are kind of weak and crappy and always have been. So the tips definitely help protect my natural nails. Alright, then I take my tip cutter to about 1/4 of an inch, cut it down. I'm going to actually grab different. I need a rougher one. Can't find the other files, so I'll use my glass one. This is for shaping. And continuing to get any excess length off. I'm not doing the full set because I'm really liking the green that I'm wearing right now. So since I'm not doing a color change, even though the nails are starting to pop off, I'm just going to replace them as they pop off. And then when I get tired of the green, I can do a complete color change then. All right, that's the preferred length and shape. I'll just take the buffer to get rid of the rough edges. And rough up the surface of the tip a little bit. Air duster, just like I use for my computer. Green. Nice thin color coat. It's better to do a couple of thin coats than to try to get it done in a single coat, because it won't cure properly if you do too thick of a coat. And remember to protect the gel polish from the UV light while you're doing this. All right. Because I'm doing a glitter coat over, that's actually opaque enough for me. This is Paranoia Galaxy by Imeli, number 86. It's a chunky blue and green irregular glitter in a clear base. Get a good glitter coat coverage on that. And under the lamp one more time. And the last step is clear top coat. I do a glossy coat when I do a glitter coat, so all right. And a good amount of my top coat. Not too thin, not too thick. And in just a moment, it'll be as if I never broke the nail in the first place. Dun, 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 dun. And there we are, all fixed. This has been Gel Nail Repair with Mellow. All right. This is the playing a different app game now, making bras. Well, that sounds interesting and fun. Okay, paper, scissors. Paper scissors that are beginning to need replaced. Or sharpened, but I got them from the dollar store, so. tape. That's one I'm not going to use very often. Come on. Looks about right. I've misplaced my clear tape again, so I'm just using some washi tape that I'm not going to use very often. Next skirt piece. This pattern, by the way, is the strapless dress for 28-inch Barbie Best Fashion Friend from JanelleWasHere.com. I don't know much about the other patterns on this site, but it's one of the only places where I could find a formal dress pattern for the 28-inch Barbie. So, there's that. Taking a break from cleaning to see the pattern work. Okay. Sounds good to me, Madge. Just have to piece the bits of pattern together here. This should slide in something. So this piece should go like this, which means that This piece needs to be adjusted a little. That's fine. It's one of the reasons I use washi tape as well instead of the clear Scotch tape. It's because washi tape is fairly easy to reposition, even on paper. Only very minor damage to the pattern there. This is not wanting to line up perfectly for me, but that's okay. You need advice on a look? Yeah, sure. Send me the picture on Skype. You went to a pagan festival today and you don't think you've ever had that much fun in a religious festival ever. Like, yeah, it's a religion you believe, but that was hella fun. I'm glad you had fun. And Madge, remember, the festivals you went to were in Halifax and were mostly run by people who wouldn't know anything about paganism except it's not the other religions, so that makes it cool. Halifax sounds honestly like a complete cesspool. And I'm glad you're no longer living there. In hindsight, those stories are almost funny now. Yeah, true. I just kind of find it hilarious that you're almost as much of a crazy magnet as I am when it comes to some things. Okay. I'm gonna patch that hole in the pattern so it looks halfway decent. And make sure everything is good and sturdy. I just had those scissors. Where did they go? There they are. You realize the magic show you did at the festival was technically you taking a sponsorship that you never even got paid for? Yeah, pretty much. Especially when they insisted that you use their wands and you were like, but you've hired me to do an illusion show. And they're like, do it anyway. And then they got pissed because you were doing illusions. And they were like, you're confusing the types of magic in the kids' heads. Well, you're the ones who didn't want me to call it illusion, you dumb cunt. You are also new and your coven is aware of recent events that have happened. They're even more nice to you and your coven leader gave you a necklace. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, not all of these festivals are made the same. The one in Halifax, honestly, it sounds like as much of a clusterfuck as the person that uh, introduced Magi to the Halifax pagan community. And don't get me started on that racist, ableist piece of shit. He would have been more fit at a church festival than a pagan one. He's in a better place now, and that's all that matters. You have more grace for his assholery than I do. You'd love to experience what a pagan festival is supposed to be like one of these days. I would too. I'd also like to go to a kink event that's not hosted by one of our local kink groups, because they're all a bunch of ableist fuckers too. The festivals are run by 3 coven leaders, one being your coven leader and the others from some other cool covens. See, that's the way they should be done. It should be local coven leaders running them, not big major, like, sellers of things. Mm-hmm. Okay. Time to bring the fabric out. Here you. And you. You. Fabric. Okay, I have the Skype message now. Give that a look. Ooh. I would wear the fuck out of either of those, but honestly, I think I like the one with the black straps and the choker collar better. I'm gonna use white cotton for the lining, I think. You may be a physics major who got a decent exposure to geometry because of math courses, but you never appreciate geometry more than when Mallow is making clothing or drafting patterns. Mm-hmm. I didn't draft this pattern. I purchased this pattern. But it is a very versatile pattern that I think is going to be really, really good for what I'm doing here. So I need to cut one lining piece and one main piece. The grain of the fabric. Let me grab my mini iron. mini iron. And I need to grab the board for the mini iron too. Here you. Old wooden cutting board that is no longer good for kitchen use makes a good substitute for a mini ironing board. Your coven leader told you a story of how when they were starting out they did get someone that wasn't in any of the covens, and that person ended up being a little racist, sexist fuck. After the first festival they went, yeah, you're not doing this again. I'm glad they kicked them out. I'm glad they got rid of them after that. People like that have no place in places that are supposed to be accepting safe spaces. Will I be using a sewing machine to make the clothes? Yes, but I'm not going to be doing the sewing today. I'm just doing the cutting and the pinning today. And then I'm going to probably wrap up the stream and finish the doll sometime next week. Because I can't get to my sewing machine right now anyway. And also, like I said, I'm getting a little bit tired, so I just kind of want to like get the clothing cut out so that it's ready for when I do the sewing. Iron hot yet? As hot as it's going to be for now. Need to move my mouse pad so that I can get my iron a little closer, because it's only got a short little cable. And my rotary cutter. And the lining goes there. All right. I'm armed and dangerous. I have a cutty thing. Okay. All right. Sometimes the rotary cutter doesn't get all the way in the corners. I'm just going to come back in with scissors to snip that free. And then cut that. And cut that. All right. Cut, cut, cut. think I need a new blade on this rotary cutter soon. I am going to dig out the sewing machine soon because I do want to do a baby clothes sew along at some point. I also need to learn how to make maternity bras and nursing bras because there is no way on this great green earth that I am going to find any in my size. Not for a normal people price anyway. Alright, that's the lining. And the top. I have this pink sequin fabric that I'm going to be using. I'm pretty sure that this cannot be ironed. You found your old slap bracelets! Yay! Slap bracelets were awesome! Oh, my rotary cutter does not like this. And yes, this mat that I use as a backdrop is designed for this sort of work. It is, in fact, a self-healing cutting mat is what they're called. Come on. I'm definitely going to need to change the blade on my rotary cutter after this. You know what? I'm switching to scissors for now. Ah, my scissors don't like this either. Okay. And oh my goodness, look at that mess of sequins now. You know what? Where are my other crappier sewing scissors? I don't want to mess up my good ones. And snip, snip, snip. There we go. These the rotary cutter and sewing scissors haven't been used for paper. Yeah, they haven't been used for paper. Paper ruins sewing scissors. So there's the outside layer. And next, all right, so that's the top cut. Move my mouse entirely out of the way here. Take that and put it over there. I don't want to make any unfortunate messes here. Move everything out of the way. And for the skirt, I need to cut 4 pieces. I genuinely hope that there will be enough to do so. I think there will be. Okay. Beginning with the rotary cutter, because this is such a big piece and I can't find my pins, then snip that away. And grab scissors for this last bit. Clean that edge up. And get through the bits that the rotary cutter could not quite handle. Okay. And there's some left over to make clothes for smaller dolls too. Not bad. Not bad at all. One of these pieces I have to cut in half because it needs a back seam. So I will make this the front skirt piece, and this one will be the back skirt piece. Let me just... Okay, actually, I need to recut that piece. That one came out all weird. I hope there is enough fabric to recut that one single piece. I'm going to be upset with myself if there isn't. Folded weird, I guess. Okay, perfect. Yes, I can fix this. Okay. Okay. Let's see if the rotary cutter does any better on a single layer of the sequin fabric than it did on multiple. Okay. That is better. Still not perfect. Probably just use the scissors. No, I definitely need the rope. No. Scissors are best for this. Stick with what you know, Mallow. Scissors are best for this. Is that one supposed to be superhero inspired, Val? That you just sent me on Skype? Or Amalga? Sorry. Damn it. Pregnancy brain. I'm telling you, pregnancy brain is real. Send a message after it. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, now there's a back piece. There's a front piece. Where's the other back piece that I had a moment ago? One of these back pieces was still good. Which one? Wasn't. Was. Yeah, that one's crap. That's a scrap. I think I must have not. That's okay. I can use this piece. There. Who said you needed brain cells for this? I certainly don't have any right now. Okay, now that's all 3 skirt pieces. Two back pieces. And one front piece. But that's not the entirety of the skirt. No, 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 it's not. You see, this is very pretty, but very see-through. You can't tell as much on camera, but you can certainly see in real life. It leaves nothing to the imagination. And so, for that reason, there is, in fact, going to be a crinoline layer. A double crinoline layer. A pink crinoline and a blue crinoline. Shake that out. Going to do the blue layer first. Assuming that I can get this organza to cooperate. Why must organza be the bane of my existence? It's such pretty material, but holy crap, is it a bugger to work with. I hear you. Why does the crinoline fabric hate me so? Yeah, having less of it to get in the way should help. And so going to cut it across the top here. Now it's mostly laying flat. And just very, very carefully, because it is a synthetic fiber and will melt, I'm just going to gently iron out the folds. Well, if it's going to be this much of a problem, maybe I'll just have to only do one crinoline. That's fine. This is fine. I'm not losing my mind. I never had one in the first place. At least the organza mostly plays nice with the rotary cutter. Okay. Front crinoline. Back crinoline. Crinoline, 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 crinoline. It's such a fun word to say. Okay, that organza drove me literally insane, so I am only going to cut one crinoline piece today, which is okay. At least now there is some preliminary work done on that. On getting the dress cut out. I am going to later, possibly off camera, I will cut the other crinoline piece. And I also need to find a sort of half jacket or bolero pattern for this size doll so that I can use this fabric as well. I'm going to save the pattern that I printed, obviously. And I am going to wrap up the unused fabric for another project. Okay. So, little sequins everywhere. This is going to be a nightmare to clean up. So, a reminder of what was accomplished today. Body paint. And I'm going to unwrap the head protection. And fluff out her hair. Get it a little bit nicer. I'm going to make a hair bow for her little hairstyle and some other accessories as well next time. I need to comb her hair a bit. It's a little messy, but this is the doll so far. Just in time, Amalga, because I'm just showing off what was done today. I need to do some more work on the shoes. I need to decide what I'm going to do with the legs and finish the sewing on that outfit. All right. The job's not done until you've put away your supplies. In the meantime, who's online? Looks like Shell's online. What's she doing today? All right. Pull my keyboard over. And let's see. What is Shell doing today? Oh, she's playing Playtop. That's a fun, chaotic little trip of a game. I think I'll send everybody over to her as soon as I have shut down my setup here. Alrighty. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. Most importantly of all, stay weird. I will see you next time. Probably not tomorrow. Make sure you copy paste that raid message if you're going to be following me to the raid. And right out to Shell Smiley. I will see you next time. Good night, all.